You're on, Dan.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the April 16th, 2025 meeting of Chatham's Historic Business District Commission. As soon as our clerk, Sam Stryber, gets through reading the governor's directive concerning these meetings, we'll do a roll call of the members who are present and we'll be reviewing the applications this afternoon. Sam, would you be so kind as to?
Yes.
Thank you.
Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 28, 2025 signing of Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws C-30A, paragraph 20, until June 30, 2027, this meeting of the Chatham Historic Business District is being conducted in person via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that people who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling the phone number 1-508-945-4410, conference ID 131868-720#, or join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV, Xfinity Channel 102, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue, hearing, or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome.
All right, now for the roll call. Our Vice Chair, Darcy Sequin.
Darcy Sequin is here.
Our Clerk, Sam Stryber.
Sam Stryber is here.
Okay, our regular member, Doug Grattan, is online with us, I believe.
Doug Grattan is here remotely.
Very good. And Tim Gilmore, our first alternate.
Tim Gilmore's here.
And Dan Silver is here. Very good, so we do have a quorum. All right, the first order of business will be the minutes. As soon as those are approved, we'll move on to the applications. And when our clerk, Sam Stryber, reads your application, we ask that you move to one of the podiums on our right, introduce yourself, and give us a brief synopsis of your proposed project, and we'll take it from there. All righty. The minutes that need to be approved are those of the meeting that was held April 2nd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Should I make the motion?
Sure.
Yeah.
I move that the minutes of April 2nd, 2025 are approved.
I wasn't here.
Okay.
Tim Gilmore votes to approve.
You want to second it?
Second the motion, please.
A motion's been made and seconded. Sam?
Sam Stryber approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
All right. And Doug?
Doug Grattan approves.
Okay, very good. So the minutes have passed. All right, Sam, what's our first application?
The first project is a modification to existing certificate of appropriateness. 24-87, the Chatham Manor LLC, care of Eastward Companies. Application to modify the certificate of appropriateness to allow for changes to the approved plan at 791 Main Street. This application is continued from April 2nd, 2025.
Very good. And I see we have Sue with us.
Good afternoon, Susan Ledoux from Eastward Companies. I submitted actually an original filing and then some supplemental information. So I'll just go through both of those quickly. And you saw this project last July of 2024 and approved the addition and renovation work that was proposed for the existing structure. And construction was completed in early March. and on the building, and a few changes were made to the exterior during this effort to improve the character and functionality of the building. And so I'm going to go through my letter. I submitted also plans that I have highlighted the changes and then photographs. So on the building front, 521 CMR compliant handrails have been ordered. Well, they were ordered, but they were installed along the ramp as shown on the attached photograph. And there's a sprinkler pipe that was added in the front also. And those are the only changes to the front of the building. On the west side of the building, the exterior mechanical, a new AC condenser unit was added under the stairway to the second floor unit. And then as far as lighting, all onion lights were installed as proposed and approved last year, but an 11-inch black gooseneck light or sconce was installed over the exterior door to the second floor unit to provide downward cast light over the stairway and entrance to the unit.
Sue.
And the spec. Sorry,
Okay,
you there?
yeah, we're all set.
Okay, sorry. Okay, and just going on to the building rear, the exterior mechanical, a new AC condenser unit has been added to the rear of the building. And then the basement window, an awning window was installed instead of the approved egress window to match the other rear awning window. So if you look at the rear, there are a couple of awning windows now. And then, let's see, the egress window and window well were installed on the east side of the building. So moving on to number 4, the building east side, the basement window, an egress window and window well were installed instead of the approved awning window. So they were basically swapped between the east side and the rear. An awning window was installed on the rear of the building. And then to move on to the supplemental information that was submitted, it's basically showing photos of the items that were installed per the approval. They just had not been installed when I submitted the initial filing. So the onion lights were installed at each of the exterior doors. The 4 white posts were installed on the front porch. The black shutters were installed on the windows and the faux door, and the handrails were installed. So all those items. So we're only asking to modify the items that I outlined in the first letter. And that's it. I'll try to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
All righty, thank you, Sue. Sam, do you have any issues?
The only thing that, I see that all these additions and changes are essential to the requirements of the building itself, and are in good taste and are consistent with the design of the building. But I was wondering about the handicap ramp that runs along the building face. I think the requirements don't require that. It's useful for somebody to have those handrails, so I don't object to them, but I'm just making the comment that probably the handrails on the building don't need to be there. Other than that, I would approve all the changes.
Okay. Kim?
No, I think you made good choices with the shutters and the lighting fixtures. And I think the railing, the handicap railing is a good idea, based on being down Main Street. And we have a lot of folks that do require that are down on Main Street. So I approve of everything that's been presented.
Thank you. Darcy?
Yeah, I think the changes you've made are very good. I do have one question about the pipe that's there for the sprinkler system. Is there any way, since it's in the front of the building, is there any way that you could conceal that with some type of shrub or something?
I'm sure that it can be. I will have to talk with the owners, the new owners.
Okay. Okay. That would be good if you could hide it somehow. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Darcy.
Okay, and I have no issues with anything, so. Anybody want to make a motion?
Excuse me?
You want to make a motion to
Oh,
approve it?
yes, I'd like to move the modifications to the existing certificate of the appropriateness, application 25-087, the Chatham Manor LLC, care of Eastward Companies, application to modify the certificate of appropriateness to allow for changes to the approved plans for 791 Main Street, continued from April 2nd.
Darcy Seacon will second the motion.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Sam?
I approve the motion.
Okay.
Darcy Seacon approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
And Dan Silver approves as well. Thank you, Sue.
Great,
Thank you
thanks
for
so
the
much. Have a
details.
good evening. Sure, thanks.
All right, Sam. I believe we got us a sign.
Yes, the next application is for a sign, 25-26 Compass Realty, care of Signorama, application to replace the ground sign located at 856 Main Street. We have the applicant, Sarah Clark, the central permitting planner, has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
Well, that's a good start. All right, do we have, there, yeah, we do. There he is. How you doing?
Hello, Brandon from Signorama here. Yeah, so the biggest changes that are happening to these signs were
Your name, sir? I'm sorry.
Brandon Gardner from Signorama, sorry. Biggest changes, so which sign are we going first? I know that's two. Were you talking the building or the road sign?
The
Which one are you
ground
looking
sign.
at?
The
Road
ground
sign? Okay. They're both having essentially the same treatment done. They both used to say Kinlan Grover and Compass. Kinlan Grover is coming off of the sign. It's just going to be Compass on there. It's the biggest change. They're still going to be white and black. The sales and service that you see on this sign, which was a separate, is staying. That was previously permitted. The client did not wish to remove that, so it's just staying there. And that would be the sign now, once it's put up at least. There is existing, if you scroll down, there is existing ground lighting for this one, which is staying. There's no plans of changing that. And the rest of the sign is going to stay as is for now.
Kim?
I have no questions.
Darcy?
Do you happen to know if they're going to paint the posts white again?
I believe they're gonna have another company do that. I mentioned that to them if they were going to, just to, if they're putting a new sign up, might as well,
Okay.
do some new paint. I think that's in the works, it's just later down the line.
Okay, thank you.
Sam?
Could you just repeat what the existing sign said was?
Oh, so the existing sign, it also had Kinlan Grover's logo on it.
Oh,
Yes, it was a co-branded office, it's now just gonna be a Compass office.
I like the sign. I have a nice brass compass with a white face if you need something else for the O.
I'll let them know, we might call you.
I don't think north is up that way or down that way, so I think it probably wouldn't work.
It's off of 28, it goes every direction.
I was just going to make the comment that I thought it was rather stark sign. Just the word compass. But I guess that's going to have a certain power,
Yeah, they're pretty known now.
so.
Okay, Doug?
I have no comment.
Okay, I think the sign is great. You want to make a motion?
I move that,
Hold on, Sam, I have a question. Should we condition it that the posts be painted white again?
If you want, if you're concerned about it.
Well, what does everybody else think?
I agree with that, Darcy.
Okay? Sam,
what?
you agree with that, that the condition to paint the posts
Yes,
white.
I would agree that the posts need to be
Do you
painted.
want me to make the motion?
It looks unfinished.
Do you want me to make the motion, or do you want
Sure.
it? Signs, 25-026, Compass Care of Sinorama. Application to replace the ground sign located at 856 Main Street with the condition that the posts be painted white.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, motion's made and seconded. Tim,
Tim Gilmore votes to approve.
Darcy,
Darcy Sequin votes to approve.
Sam Stravert votes to.
Doug,
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
and Dan Silver approves as well. Thank you. Nice sign. That was easy. Now we got one more.
Yep, same building.
You'll introduce yourself again, sir.
Hello, Brandon
There's
Gardner
a
from
reason for it.
Sinorama. Half a compass.
So we have a second sign application, 25-27, Compass Realty, care of Sinorama, application to replace the wall sign located at 856 Main Street. And the central permitting planner has determined that the proposed sign complies with the sign bylaw.
All righty, sir. What's up with this one?
All right, very similar to the road sign, we are taking, covering over the existing Kinlan Grover compass, with just compass on there. Still black and white, it's gonna look great up there, and compass is definitely much more substantial on this side. There is one thing I would note, in the application, I made a small error. I was filling about a dozen permits at the time. There is existing lighting under the sign, which is staying. There's no plans to move that or change that in any way as far as I know. That could be further down the line, but as far as I know, the client has no wishes to change it at the moment. They're gonna keep it as is.
All right, Sam?
I have no questions. It has the same, it's a little better composed, doesn't look so funny, a rectangular word in a square. But this is now in a complementary it looks like it belonged there.
Okay, Doug?
I think it looks great. I have no questions.
Okay, Tim?
No questions.
I only have a comment. I only had one compass.
Darn. Darn, I was gonna ask, because I could probably talk him into it.
The O, do you see that the O?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, put it right there.
Northeast.
You want to make a motion, Darcy?
Sure, but I have no questions.
Oh, yeah. I know you didn't.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 25-027 Compass Care of Sinorama, application to replace the wall sign located at 856 Main Street.
Okay,
I'll
motion's
second the
made.
motion.
Tim?
Tim Gilmore would second the motion.
Okay, Tim?
Tim Gilmore votes to approve.
Darcy Sequin
Sam?
votes to approve.
Excuse me.
Doug?
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
And Dan Silver votes to approve as well. Very good.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, sir.
So we have an additions alterations application 25-23, Richard Waltz, application to replace doors and windows on the structure located at 60K Munson Meeting Way.
All right. Do we have the owner or the applicant or a representative here online or in person? Any place? No? All right, well, we'll give them a chance and move on to the other one. Might take a little while.
I'll read the next, is site improvements, 25-24, First Congregational Church of Chatham, care of Joe LoCastro. Application to install and replace exterior lighting located at 650 Main Street. And I'm a trustee there, and I'll have to recuse myself.
All right. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Joe LoCastro, and I'm representing the First Congregational Church. taking the place of Sam, which can never really happen. But so there are two projects here, two lighting projects. One is to install new exterior lights on the church on the Old Harbor Road side in the parking lot. And both these projects are to hopefully improve the safety with new lighting. The plan is to install two LED floodlights. Both those lights are double-headed, and they will be shining down onto the parking lot as floods. We tried to be as unintrusive as possible, so what we've done here with the lights and the conduit, they will be white, and the conduit will actually run under the windows as best as possible, as you can see on this picture. And there will be timers on the lights that are consistent with the rest of the lighting, the external lighting of the church. So they'll go on at the same time. So that's project number one. Do you want me to go through project number two as well, or just?
It's all the same application,
Okay.
right?
So the next project is related to the upper front stairs of the church, right by the doors as you walk in. The plan there is to install two LED lights, again, floodlights. They're small lights, 4.5 inches, 12 watts. And they will be attached under the existing decorative sconces. And again, to be somewhat unobtrusive as much as possible. Along with that project, we are going to adjust the height of, it's hard to see on this picture, but there are two other lights at the bottom of the stairs, and we're going to adjust the height so they can have better coverage at the bottom of the stairs as well. So, and both of these projects will be done by the same contractor. I think that's it. Any questions?
Let's find out. Darcy?
I assume those lights are just going to point down to the stairs?
Yes, those,
Okay.
yeah, we're going to adjust those so that they're not shining in people's eyes as they walk up the
Okay.
stairs. And there'll be floodlights, which I think will help a lot.
Okay, great. I have no further questions.
Tim?
No questions.
Okay, and what do we do? Lose Doug?
Yeah, I got a quick question. As far as the lighting goes, well, is that on a timer or would that be a motion sensor? And if it is a timer, what are the hours?
Yeah, they'll be on a timer, and the timer will be consistent with all the other lighting that we have that's external to the building. And I can't answer the question of when the hours of that lighting,
All right, thank you.
but the timer does get adjusted by season.
Just don't want to have it on all night if it's not necessary, that's all, so.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you want a motion?
Darcy, do you want to?
Sure. Under additions and alterations, I'd like to make a motion to approve 25-023 Richard Walls' application to replace doors and windows on the structure located at, oops, wrong one. I skipped that, sorry. Let me start over again. Under site improvements, 25-24, First Congregational Church, care of Joe LaCastro, application to install and replace exterior lighting located at 650 Main Street. Sorry about that.
Doug Grant will second that.
Doug seconded.
Dan, I will second that motion.
All right, should we have a second?
Doug Grant will
You
second
seconded?
that.
All right.
Seconded.
I didn't hear it, like, yeah, okay. All right.
Tim Gilmore votes to approve.
Darcy Segrin votes to approve.
Dan Silva votes to approve.
Grattan votes to approve.
All righty.
You're all set, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, if I can find my, here he is. Do we want to do another call for Munson meeting?
I don't know, we'll just do, no one else is here. That's changed, let's just do the,
Do we have anybody here for 25-023, 60K Munson Meeting Way? The applicant or anybody's representative? No? Well, we have a house to do, maybe they'll
yeah,
show up
let's do it.
by that time. Okay, go ahead, Sam.
The next application is new construction, 25-25. The Dykens Family Trust, care of James M. Norcross Esquire. Application to construct a new dwelling located at 40 Market Place.
Excuse
Good
me, Dan?
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
You're ganging up on us, huh?
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, Doug is trying to get your attention.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to make sure that you were aware, I am in a butter of the property, just so FYI.
All righty.
He's a friendly about it.
All right.
We hope so. Good afternoon. For the record, Jamie Norcross representing Jeff and Julie Dykens. Jeff is next to me. Julie is in the audience today. This property, which was recently given an address of 40 Marketplace, is currently a vacant lot. The application is to construct a two-bedroom dwelling on the property. It's a panhandle lot located off the cul-de-sac at Marketplace, and I'm guessing most people probably didn't know it existed until you saw the application back in there. But we've included some specifications along with the plans relative to materials that will be used for the construction. We don't yet have a landscape or hardscape plan, so I understand that would have to be a condition of any approval, that would have to be provided for your review prior to any construction. One notation I'd make in my letter, I referenced that it would be a paved driveway. The plan would actually to be have crushed stone similar to what's there now, and that could be shown on any subsequent hardscape plan that would be submitted for your review. So we'd be happy to answer any questions.
All righty. Jim, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, just a question on the use. Is it going to be a rental, or is it going to be occupied full-time?
Yeah, not certain quite yet. The important point is that we have a home that's adjacent to this property.
Okay.
So we live there, so it gives us some flexibility on moving into that, either renting or selling our larger home, and it gives us flexibility. We have family that lives off Cape, and they visit us all the time, and it's getting busy, so.
Okay.
It'd be a place for family. It just gives us more options as a family.
No further questions.
I mean, there's no direct plan right now to have a short-term rental there, per se, just to answer your question.
Darcy?
I really have no questions. I think I appreciate the plans and everything that you've submitted. Thank you.
Thanks, Darcy.
I think it's an interesting concept, going down this rather tightly knit to landscaped and then turn into this wooded lot. I think the landscaping is going to be crucial. And is there any, so the easements are all that follow this pathway, pretty much?
That's correct. I think Jeff and I were talking about this earlier. Some of those arborvitaes, I think they are, that as you go down there on the left-hand side, those are going to have to be moved, taken down, because that blocks a little bit of the access. But those are all on Jeff's property, so I think that would get widened a bit in terms of the access piece as you go down to the driveway.
I just have the usual, I mean, I think the scale and the use of exterior parts to break down the scale is all done very successfully. And I think the only thing I would be is to ask that the corner boards be 5.5 inches and that the window trim be 4.5 inches. Because the plans seem to be drawn with good size trim, but it's rather random as to what the sizing would be. But that way you do corner boards, and that the fascia of the roof have a second member or a gutter. Because right now it's very bare and water's gonna come streaking down. Eventually you're gonna put a gutter on. But a second member would provide the offset for that gutter. So those are the only comments I would have. I think the stone entryway is very successful, and I assume that those are bluestone steps and bluestone platform. You're gonna probably end up under this pergola with a bluestone terrace. Otherwise, you lose the chair.
Right.
Tip over, yeah.
Some kind of hardscape, Sam, yeah, yep.
Other than that, I think your eyes will, I like the cupola.
You do,
Some
okay.
people
Some people don't.
in town government don't like cupolas, but I'm a good fan of the cupola. And other than that, I have no other questions.
Okay, do we,
I think it's a
Did I
it's a
give
tiny
Doug a
house
chance?
anyway, and
Did I give
that's
Doug a chance?
more consistent with the kind of housing I think we want to develop.
Well, we live next door, so we have to live with it, and we're gonna see it, or either be living in it or looking at it, so
Ask them
it's
again.
important that it look nice.
okay, did I include Doug yet?
No, but I think it's a great design and a great addition to the neighborhood, and I think it fits very well on the property.
Okay, I lose you completely, Doug, when you're not on video. All I have is voice. All right, maybe you guys can help unbaffle me. I am completely baffled about this design. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just baffled by it. It seems like you're losing out on so much. One thing, can you explain to me why there's so many steps? Is this in a hole?
No. I mean, 3 steps is not unusual, Danny, I don't think, but I don't know.
Okay, do those doors, the fake barn doors on either side operate?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, the windows that are on the second floor,
Yep.
approximately how high are they off the floor? I'm sorry, I could have scaled them, but
I don't
I have
think.
a reason for asking.
We don't have that number for you, unfortunately.
What's that?
We don't know
no
that
idea.
number.
You have no answer?
No.
No, I don't either.
There must be a section in
Are all those windows the same size? Because with this rendition and the drawing, the hand drawing, the 2 outside windows are bigger than the ones in the middle, and then you have an orphaned one. There, you're showing them all the same size?
Yeah, I thought there was a window scale with it, but maybe not, maybe we can get you
They
there.
all gonna be the same size?
It looks like they are, yeah.
And are they double hung? Are they Galaxy, or what are they? They're 3/3, right?
Yeah, yep.
So that they're casement?
They're casement, those are casement, yeah. The ones on the north and, east and west are all double hung. They're all Anderson.
All right, on your cross-section, you show that you have when you look at the drawing anyways, on the left-hand side, you have a wall there, a knee wall that you can walk up to with sufficient height. You have a 9-foot ceiling on the second floor. That's incredible. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a lot of room, that's nice, but I think what I'd rather see happen is that when I saw this, I couldn't figure out whether it was a house, was it supposed to be a house or a barn?
Well, it's supposed to be a barn-like house.
I figured with a
And they're
door,
trying
yeah,
to marry-
okay.
trying to
So
marry
those
the two
windows would be low on a barn.
Yeah.
But I think they'd also be all the same size, so I just want to make sure they are. I don't care what size they are, just as long as they're all one size.
Yeah.
I'm not an equi person, but it just, your hand drawing is very distracting. So, that did bother me. My suggestion, and it's only a suggestion, I would take that opposite wall of your knee wall, where the windows are,
Yep.
and I would raise that up about 2 feet, 3 feet, so that you could walk up to that wall. Then you could have double hungs. I pulled up a picture of a house that I worked, this reminded me of a job that I did down in Katuitt. Same house, the only thing they did was that they put an A-frame entrance over the door. The second floor windows are double hung. They're all the same size. Those people have full use of the upstairs. They can walk right out to the windows and not hit their head, and it's much better looking. I mean, if you want a barn, I'm not gonna stop you from having a barn. That's a barn place out there, so. But I think you're doing yourself a misjustice, Jeff. I think you could have some other space up there.
Really something we can look at.
I mean, I don't know how. It's hard to read with this handwritten, God bless him. He doesn't use a program, but with a 9-foot ceiling, I would think that you'd want, a minimum of a 6-foot wall. The windows, those windows could be 6'6" off the floor,
What?
and then be double hung, more light. You could walk right up to them.
The top of the window?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. With just by, just extending the first floor up and putting the rafters down on them. There's no cost there.
I think it would then look like a regular old house,
Or regular
Right
old
now,
house. Yeah.
This has some
Okay.
style to it. If they're happy, they get a higher ceiling on the second floor where they're gonna need to have some kind
Well, it
of,
wouldn't change the ceiling height on the inside, so I'm just saying, I'm not,
Yeah,
Sam and I just having a discussion.
yeah, that's all right, that's fine, good.
But I mean, that's, I think you're losing out on a lot. The first floor, is there a reason why that window to the left or right, rather, no, it's the left of the door, is a solid pane? With one big picture window? And then you have, three smaller windows on the right-hand
Yeah,
side?
Yeah, on the right-hand side.
Those are casement windows.
he has all 6/1 windows, except for the little awnings
Why, yes,
that he has under the roof.
Okay. I'm sorry, I spent all my time trying to find option 1 when I saw option 2 on the bottom of the page.
Oh, so
Looks
it's a crank.
Crank.
Yeah.
crank window.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna get outvoted anyway, so. I hate to see you lose the space, Jeff.
Okay, all right, take it under advisement.
If you want a barn, you should have a barn.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, that was the intent,
Make it into a cranberry house or,
yeah.
all right, Darcy.
I have a question for the board. Sam suggested 5.5-inch corner boards and 4.5-inch window trim. Does everybody agree with that, to make it a condition?
Oh, you want, that's a condition. Yeah, you want 1x4
Well,
window?
we have to ask Tim too, if he's, and,
Yeah, I would approve that as a condition.
okay. Dan, you okay with that too? Make it a condition?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
What do you think, I got a choice here? I'm just taking up space.
All right, under new construction, 25-025, the Dykens Family Trust, care of James M. Norcross Esquire. Application to construct a new dwelling located at 40 Marketplace, with the condition that the corner boards be 5.5 inches and the window trim is 4.5 inches. And I'd just like to add something to that. If you decide that you want to change those windows,
Yeah.
you would have to come back to us.
Okay, yep,
And also conditioned upon the hardscaping and landscaping.
gotcha.
In the traditional sill.
Well, yeah, the 4.5 inches, okay,
Okay.
additional.
Doug Grant will second that motion.
Okay, Doug second it.
Yeah. So
Approve.
Sam Stryber approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Dan Silver approves.
Okay, thank you,
Doug Grattan approves.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you so much, folks. Good to see you.
Okay,
Okay,
I
guess
think
we
that
gotta-
was the last one. Do we have anybody in the audience who can present the 60K Munson meeting? Way.
Guess we have to make a motion to continue it.
I think we ought to just,
Just continue it.
motion to,
I'd like to make a
Continue.
motion that we continue it for the
when
next,
May what?
May 7th.
You get that, Sam?
May 7th.
Yeah, okay. All right, do we have a second?
Darcy
Doug
Sequin,
Grattan will second that motion.
Okay.
Tim Gilmore votes to approve.
Darcy Sequin votes to approve.
Sam Stryver votes to approve.
Doug?
Doug Grattan votes to approve.
And Dan Silver approves as well. Thanks, folks, for hanging in there. We'll see you in May.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Doug Grattan will second that motion.
Okay, there he goes again, no vid.
Sam Stryver approves.
Darcy Sequin approves.
Tim Gilmore approves.
Dan Silver approves.
Doug
How about
Grattan
you, Doug?
approves. Doug Grattan approves.
That voice out of nowhere.